The African Growth and Opportunity Act is a cornerstone in preferential trade. It empowers sub-Saharan African countries to export numerous products to the U.S. market without imposition of tariffs. It also recognizes a shared interest and stable economic growth between Washington and sub-Saharan Africa. Agoa has greatly benefited, one of each, a business venture that trades in ethnic print garment, handbags, as well as accessories. One of each co-founder, Tamburai Chirume, joins us now to tell us a bit more about the significance of the African Growth and Opportunity Act. Good to have you on the program, Tamburai. Firstly, what exactly is the nature of your business?
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. So we are basically a mother and daughter collaboration, and we create handbags out of cuts of leather, as well as embellishments and different textiles that come from the African continent. So that's the nature of what we produce. But then we also have a social enterprise which trains youth, garment construction, and then we help them find jobs in the fashion sector.
So how and when did you receive information about the opportunity created by the Agoa Act?
Okay, so in 2017, I was nominated to go on one of the U.S. Embassy programs, which is supported by the U.S. State Department. And on this program, we were 24 African women from 24 African countries going to different states within the U.S. And Agoa was very much of a focus in the curriculum and the content of this program. For us as creative entrepreneurs to really understand how we could benefit and get our products into that market, but also utilize the Agoa trade agreement.
So for the benefit of those who may not know, what is the process that you had to follow?
Okay, so basically we did this 9 years ago. I think things have obviously changed now. I know that you can do it online, but basically when you register your exports, when you get your exporter's code, that is basically when you would register for Agoa. You know, you would select that as the preferential trade agreement that you're interested in, you know, collaborating on. I think they're different ones from different countries. I think the EU has one and all that kind of thing, but you can actually select what, you know, whether you want to register under Agoa. Yeah.
So Tamburai, give us an idea of the exact market that you have access to in the U.S.
So we really focus on the market that has quite an affluent African diaspora community. So that's New York being a very diverse community where you find people from all over the world. And then Washington, D.C. has been a very interesting market for us. We actually supply the Washington, D.C. Textile Museum. That's one of the clients that we work with. So those are the key cities that we've really focused on and really gotten to understand what the customers in those markets are actually looking for.
Give us a bit more detail about how your business has actually benefited from Agoa. What have been the spin-off effects here?
I think the spin-off effects and how we've benefited has been, you know, having attended like various trade shows that are supported by the Department of Trade and Industry, alongside your South African Leather and Footwear Councils. We basically enter the U.S. market as a preferential supplier. So when buyers look at you, when they are buying from you and they receive products from you, they are not paying duty. So I think that's what really has given us that advantage, that when you're in that market and it's a lot of different brands from a lot of different countries, people actually, when they buy, they consider the fact that when your product reaches them, it really is duty free, and then you can become quite competitive with your pricing. Yeah, that's how we've actually benefited from that.
So Tamburai, your business's commitment to creating economic as well as educational opportunities for South Africans has also been widely documented. Can you provide a bit more examples of how these opportunities have actually manifested and also impacted the local community?
Okay, so first of all, we have the basic garment construction program that we train youths from underserved communities, because we realize that there's a very high unemployment rate amongst youth, and obviously that affects mainly women. So we launched a program where my mother is the head facilitator. She's a self-taught fashion designer. So we're basically bridging the gap between fashion education and workplace readiness. So we train these girls, and they become really skilled in being a sample hand, which is not very common in our industry. And once they're trained up in our program, we basically help them find jobs in the sector, in the fashion sector. And then along that, some people don't want to just work in the fashion industry. They want to start their own businesses. And I've launched a program in partnership with the U.S. Consulate called the Business of Creative Entrepreneurship. And that really coaches women entrepreneurs how to actually become export ready. So before you actually get into that market, how do you brand yourself? How do you market yourself? How do you tell your authentic story? How do you actually go into that market being proudly African, and what does that actually mean? How do you cost your products, and how do you make a profit out of being a creative person? Basically just sharing the journey and the experience that we had, because we turned into an export business with very little experience. We had to learn along the way. So it's basically just taking women entrepreneurs on that same journey, because the entrepreneurship journey can be quite lonely.
Yeah. Now, with the success of Agoa, how does a business like yours indeed maintain its unique identity and also its craftsmanship, while also catering to an international market, which I'm assuming can also be very demanding?
Absolutely. I think you need to enter that market really knowing who you are. So the story is very crucial. A lot of the time we try to get into that market and try to imitate what's there. That market is looking for something that's different. They're looking for what comes from your heritage and your culture and all of that. So I think, what has helped us is really people who love the mother and daughter story. They really find that very interesting, of the fact that, I come from a corporate banking experience. My mom has always been a creative, self-taught, as I mentioned, and they really love that authentic story. So I think that's just been, one of our key USPs to make us different. And they love the social impact part, because I think in today's world, in the fashion industry, you can't have a business in South Africa based on all the social ills that we see every day and not have some sort of impact that you're trying to create. So our customers love the story of us having an alumni of students who are actually part of our team. Everyone that works for us has been trained through this program. And, our company is probably 85% youth. My mom and myself and my other colleague are probably the only older ones there. So, I think that's what makes us different in what we do.
So regarding this potential renewal of Agoa, how do you foresee changes in the competitive landscape for businesses who are relying on Agoa benefits?
Okay, so firstly, I think we should not rely on Agoa benefits. We have a substantial local market that is aware that they need to support small businesses, and that is really growing. I think Agoa is a benefit, which is great, and I think it would be great if it is extended, because I think there are a lot of businesses who haven't known about it, who haven't been able to benefit from it. And having spent some time in the US recently, I've learned that, in South Africa, we have really great products, especially in the industry that I'm in, which is, craft, creation, garments, jewelry, and all. Like, we have really, really competitive products that can actually compete in that market. So I think it would be nice if we could get more time to actually reap the benefits of this incredible trade agreement. And also, because of having had some experience in exporting, we've learned that exporting to other countries is very, very difficult, because by the time your product reaches the customer, they actually don't want it because of how expensive it is. Yeah.
Tamburai, as we wrap up our conversation, give us a sense about your business's plan for the future.
Our business's plan. So the social impact for us is what really makes me smile, and that's what my mom and I are passionate about. So we really want to grow the African Academy of Fashion, which is the program that is training young women, we really want to see diversity in the fashion industry in Cape Town in particular, and this is what we're passionate about. So, we want to see more people that look like us who are being successful in the fashion industry, but particularly in the Western Cape.
Tamburai, Godspeed to you. It's really fascinating to hear about the success of your business and also the benefits of Agoa as well. Engaging a conversation with Tamburai, the co-founder and daughter of the Daughter Design collaboration. That's one of each. We delved into the remarkable journey of the business and also explored the tangible impact of the South African communities